Welcome to Electronic Medium Life is Paranormal. I'm Judy, and on this channel we research the afterlife using today's technology. Today I have an update. Breaking news. Larry Millete and Maya's house was searched on the 7th, May 7th, 2021. They had another search warrant, and he's also been issued a restraining order. If you haven't seen my channel, we do spirit box sessions reaching out to victims of crimes to see if they can give us information about what happened to them. Right now we're going to do a little update about Larry Millete, and if you want to check out the spirit box sessions, I will put the playlist to Maya Millete in the description below.
Who is there at the scene with a lieutenant. Kenny, what is the lieutenant telling you right now?
Hey Marcella, I'm going to introduce Frank here, the lieutenant for Chula Vista Police Department. Lieutenant, can you tell us what you guys are doing at the property today?
Yeah, we're executing a search warrant of the home.
And what is going on? Is this standard protocol right now for what's been going on in this investigation?
It's just part of the investigation. Unfortunately, I can't provide any details of that, but that's really as much as we can provide.
No arrest at this point?
There are no arrests being made today.
Okay. Is anybody at the house at the time?
The family's here at the house.
Any resistance? I know I saw the battering ram on the ground.
No resistance.
Okay. Anything in particular you can tell us that you're searching?
Unfortunately, I can't provide any of the details of that.
Correct.
Right now.
Why is the dog here?
The dog is just part of the search if we're looking for items, if it would detect certain items.
I noticed that you have U.S. Border Customs and Protection here. That is the dog. Is that just for aid today? It has nothing to do or anything to do with the U.S. Border Customs and Protection?
Correct. Yeah, they're just providing assistance to us.
And I also noticed a large white van over here. Looks like possibly an evidence van. Is that also
It's part of our lab. Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk about anything at all that you've pulled out of the house in previous?
Unfortunately, I cannot. Yeah, and just we're trying to maintain the integrity of the investigation. So unfortunately, I can't provide any of those details.
Okay. And as far as other agencies, I see a San Diego police officer here. Is that also standard?
I'm not sure who you're talking about. San Diego.
Behind you, I'm sorry, maybe it's Chula Vista.
Yeah, these are all Chula Vista police officers.
Any idea how long you're going to be out here?
Probably for a couple hours.
Okay.
Can you help us understand where you're at in the case?
Unfortunately, I can't provide those details.
But I mean, can you give us an idea where you feel close, or do you feel like,
Unfortunately,
anything you can tell us?
No, I wish I could, but
certainly the community wants to know.
Of course, we know this is a sensitive investigation, and the community is very involved and concerned about May, and as are we. We're just trying to do our job and investigate this as thoroughly as possible.
Can we talk visually about what's going on? What I can see, it looks like you've opened the garage.
Yes, we've opened the garage.
Okay, and officers are in there, obviously looking for whatever it is.
Yeah, it's part of the search. We're searching the entire residence.
Has the criminal investigation changed in any way? In other words, is it still a missing persons?
I can't provide any of those details. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lieutenant.
Right, thank you.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Yeah, you got it.
That was the lieutenant from the Chula Vista Police Department here, and as I walk around, kind of give you guys a visual of them going into the garage at this moment. I'm going to try and keep some of the integrity. I think there's some undercover officers here, so we'll try not to put that on live, but at the moment it looks like they're got keys to a vehicle here, the Millete truck. As you can see, the personal license plate there.
Kenny, it has been
they do have flashlights out.
A long 4 months. Maya disappeared 4 months ago today. There's been huge support for her and her family. A lot of neighbors, I think neighbors were the ones that alerted us that the Chula Vista police were even on the scene. Can you show us? And I know you're being sensitive because of undercover officers that may be there, but what does the neighborhood look like? Are a lot of neighbors out trying to figure out what's going on?
Sure, let me kind of set the scene for you here. When I arrived, there were neighbors outside at this house in the distance here, and then obviously the neighbors just to the right of the house, if you look forward, were out. And then there are some other people here now, as you can see, standing here as well, taking video. A couple of other news crews as well just arrived, but yeah, I think they're all anxious. Everybody's anxious to know what's going on. I think our early reports were there might have been something more happening here than what's happening now. But at the moment, like I said, they're searching. From what I can tell, I'm going to give you kind of a little bit of a zoom in here. And now they're closing the garage, probably because we're here. But they are going through the vehicle, the truck that's there. They opened the door, and like I said, now they've closed the garage door, so we can't really see what's going on. But to me, it looks like the focus is on that truck itself. So we will find out. They said they're going to be here for at least another couple hours, but at the moment it's pretty quiet. I'll also give you another visual here. This is the evidence van that I asked the lieutenant about earlier, and then another Chula Vista police car there. And this was interesting to me, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection vehicle, but this is just for a canine unit that they called in. Doesn't have much bearing on this agency, but they are obviously utilize the search dog from this. And it might have been just for the entry itself. There is I want to show you another something here. This was a battering ram here, but they did not use this according to the lieutenant, but one of those things that you see when they do make entry. But at the moment we have one Chula Vista police officer outside watching guard, and lieutenant's here off to the left hand side.
Kenny, any sign of producer David Gottfredson? I know he's been in touch with the family attorney, just trying to figure out exactly why police may be there. It has been 4 months, so you would think that any evidence they could glean might be, tampered with. It's been a long time.
I have not seen him as of yet, and again, this is all coming together within the last, 20 minutes. So the lieutenant again was nice enough to talk to us, but didn't really have a lot to say other than this is one of multiple search warrants conducted on this house. Like I said, what struck me interesting was that they were already starting to go through that pickup truck. And then they closed the garage door on us. So again, we can only assume that their focus today is on that truck.
Kenny, we're seeing these breaking pictures, and of course we heard from the lieutenant there with Chula Vista Police. What exactly did it look like from the beginning before we tuned in with the chief? What did it look like when you got there?
Very similar. There were the same amount of vehicles that were here. There were more officers in plain clothes. They had their, they call them gaiters. They had their masks up over their face. They believe that they're undercover officers. So we do our best not to put them on TV, but they had just come from the inside of the house, which is the front door here, and then made their way out, and then they re-entered again into that garage to start focusing on that truck itself. So nothing chaotic or out of the ordinary. I think we got a call or a tip from maybe a neighbor, and this is the canine officer here that brought the dog in.
And Kenny, for the viewers at home, you're also
very
taking
similar
a look
to what's happening here, other than
they're also taking a look right now at Chopper 8 over the neighborhood and over the home. You can also see some of those officers and investigators also towards the back there of the home overhead from Chopper 8.
And for people who
we have
may
the dog
not
coming out now, guys.
Okay, let's go back to Kenny McGregor's live shot from the ground. Right now we're seeing Chopper 8. All right, here's K9 unit. Don't know what he's being deployed to hit on at this point. Don't know what information investigators may have gotten that have prompted them to execute the search warrant at the house of the Millete family 4 months to the day after Maya went missing. We'll let some of our viewers know who may not have been following this case as closely. In the very early days of Maya's disappearance, her husband Larry did come out, publicly speak. He talked to News 8. He said he was really hopeful that she would be found. After some time, several days, he stopped talking to the media, would only address us with statements, written statements. And I believe, Kenny, when you asked the lieutenant if anyone was home, he said no. So there were some earlier reports that perhaps police were there to possibly make an arrest, but I believe the lieutenant said nobody was home, so it looks like they're in there collecting evidence. Where did that dog go? Were you able to see?
Yeah, Marcella, and just to correct you, he did tell me that there were family members home and they did not have to use this ram. They came to the door itself and opened the door. As far as the dog, and interesting as the U.S. Border Customs and Protection, he opened the door to the back of the vehicle where the dog was, and he said, "Let's go to work." Obviously he knows something. I don't know what type of dog it is yet, whether it's a drug dog, a cadaver dog. I don't know any of that yet, but he did make his way right to the front door here as you're looking. Already had him sniffing around the front and make his way inside. So that's another interesting fact that's happening right now, that the dog is inside the home doing whatever search it is that they do.
Thank you for clarifying. I thought that I wasn't sure what he said when you asked him if there were people home. So to clarify, they did not have to break into the home, and there were family members who answered the door.
That is correct.
And of course, the neighborhood, family members, the community really have been following this case for the past 4 months. Of course, there's been a lot of efforts into volunteering for searches throughout. And of course, earlier this week, there was that rally in front of Chula Vista Police with the family and community members urging Chula Vista Police to give an update to them, to the community, to the family members, and also urging them to allow for official searches. So far, all of the searches have been done by volunteers in the case.
I think that Kenny is talking to some people on the scene, but this case has garnered national attention. The family, Maya's sister, they were on national news. They were on the Dr. Phil show. Everyone wondering where Maya is. The family, of course, keeping up hope that she will be found alive. Investigators have received thousands of tips, even some potential sightings, but at this point, I believe some of the family members are realistic, and that's why they're searching for her, trying to see if perhaps they do recover her body one way or another. They want closure. They want to know what happened to Maya. Again, this has not been called a criminal investigation by Chula Vista Police. Up to this point, they have said it is a missing persons case, and no one has been named a person of interest. There have been no suspects named.
Exactly, and the video that you're looking at right now at home, that is video of that rally that was happening earlier this week in front of Chula Vista Police. And the family and community really have been saying that they are Maya's voice. They are her advocates in this and pushing the case forward and getting any leads going, and also those searches. I was there at that rally earlier this week, and I talked with some of the organizers for the searches and with the community members that were there. The family, they say that they have plans to continue doing their own volunteer searches throughout San Diego County, throughout the community, throughout the area. Whenever they do find leads, they do go out at night and follow those leads after working full days. A lot of them do have jobs, and they are volunteers, and they do go out, follow those tips, follow those leads at night and on weekends to see if they can find anything to give to Chula Vista Police and the investigators to move the case forward.
And family understandably frustrated by the lack of information. I mean, I realize that the investigators can't reveal too much. We heard from the lieutenant, who couldn't tell us exactly why they were there except to execute a search warrant. We saw them focusing in on the vehicle in the Millete family's garage. And now with the dog, we don't know what information led them to come and execute this search warrant 4 months after Maya went missing. There has been one prior search warrant executed, and that was at the end of January. We've not been able to gather information on what exactly was taken from the home during that search, but with family members inside and presumably cooperating with police, the investigator, the lieutenant, said they will be on the scene for a couple more hours.
And if you're looking right now, that is video from Chopper 8 live over the scene, over the neighborhood there, as police, Chula Vista Police, Customs, Border Patrol are there investigating and carrying out the search warrant that has come really just a couple of days after a rally outside of Chula Vista Police headquarters earlier this week, as we mentioned.
When you were out at the rally, Jesse, what was the sense that you got? Was it frustration? Was it just, what did people say?
Sure.
A lot of people are searching for Maya that didn't even know her.
They sure are, and the community, again, that just goes to show the community really is taking this on. I spoke with a couple of community members who were there, a couple volunteers, in shirts with Maya's face and that missing poster that we've all come to know by this point, saying, I'm here because she's part of this community, and we want to find her and figure out what happened here. To answer your question, Marcella, the vibe was, yes, a bit of frustration, but also hope that investigators would listen and move the case forward, give them some kind of update, some new information, and also bring in and act on any new tips and leads that come in. I spoke with the family, Maya's sister and brother-in-law, who've been very vocal again, saying we are her activists, we are her voice, and they have said that they just want more information. They want to move the case forward and find out what happened.
The last update we received from Chula Vista Police was that they have interviewed 55 people, including family members, friends, neighbors, and witnesses. They've written 16 search warrants to include residences, vehicles, cellular and electronic devices, call detail records, financial records, social media, and cloud data. And again, one of those warrants was executed at the Millete family home, the same home that you're looking at today, on January 23rd. That was shortly after her disappearance. And they have been working this case, but understandably, the family is frustrated. They have also called in and formed a partnership, a multi-agency partnership, working with the San Diego County District Attorney's Office, the FBI, the Naval Criminal Investigative Service. David Gottfredson, our producer who's been working on this case, said that he believes that could have been because Maya was employed, a contractor, I believe, with the Navy. So a lot of different agencies, a lot of different community members working to try and find out what happened to this mother of three that was so loved in the South Bay. Some details about her relationship with her husband, that she perhaps was looking to discuss a divorce attorney. Go ahead, Jesse, what do you know?
Nope. Here, what you're looking at right now is images of Chopper 8 over the neighborhood right now. If you're just catching up, a search warrant conducted by Chula Vista Police at Maya Millete and Larry Millete's home in Chula Vista. We have a crew on the scene there. We've heard from the lieutenant, and we will be having a lot more information on this on the 6 o'clock news, News 8 at 6, as we continue. For now, we'll take you back to break.
Breaking news out of Chula Vista right now, where we have learned about weapons confiscated from Maya Millete's husband.
As News 8 first reported last week, Chula Vista police served another search warrant at the couple's home on Friday. And while details surrounding that have not been released, it appears they were looking for guns. Court records show authorities believe Larry Millete owned 20 guns, and at least one was an illegal assault rifle. News 8's David Gottfredson has the details.
When Chula Vista police served a search warrant on the Chula Vista home of Larry Millete on January 23rd, they seized an illegal assault rifle and 2 other legal Glock handguns that were registered to him. But police believe he may own as many as 20 firearms, and 18 remain unaccounted for, according to a gun violence restraining order filed in San Diego Superior Court on May 5th. Quote, respondent told officers that he knew they were coming for his firearms, and he gave multiple firearms to his friends. Respondent refused to disclose the names of the people possessing respondent's firearms, the restraining order alleged. Chula Vista police officers then found an additional 2 illegal assault weapons when they served a search warrant on the home of Larry Millete's aunt and uncle on April 1st. Police discovered 2 Glock handguns registered to Larry Millete were purchased after officers served the first search warrant on his house, leading police to seek a gun violence temporary restraining order against Millete. On May 5th, the judge ordered Larry Millete to surrender all his guns to the court. And 2 days later, on Friday, May 7th, police served a second search warrant on his house, seizing what appeared to be 3 long rifles as well as several ammunition boxes.
David, thank you. Now, a court hearing on the restraining order has now been scheduled for June 22nd.
CBS 8 in San Diego reports a photograph allegedly downloaded by police from Larry Millete's cell phone on January 23rd of 2021 shows their son standing on a kitchen table with a cache of 16 firearms, 4 United States passports, a government identification card, several high-capacity magazines, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition, according to the newly released record. That was on May 10th, 2021. So this has got to be so tough for the family, you guys. I can't even imagine. Please send prayers and good wishes to the family and to all the searchers, everyone behind the scenes that has been working on this case and that have been trying to find Maya. May, we're praying for you. We love you. We love your family. We're so sorry that this happened, but we're all here for you. I know a lot of strangers are out looking for her, and a lot of us behind the scenes here on YouTube are keeping her name in the public eye. Thank you guys for watching. Again, please send prayers for the family. I love you guys.